Okay, Scott, so I have some good news for you. If you're not totally satisfied with your salary, you are not alone. Reportedly, 65% of full-time workers do not earn the money they want. So according to Career Builder, one of the biggest reasons boils down to the fact that you just simply haven't asked for it. Joining us this morning to talk more about it, Dan Riccado, you're going to give us the courage to walk in and say, I need more money. This
is the golden age of employment, really, because the unemployment rate is near a record low. Right?
Yes.
So if you're looking for a job, if you have a job, you're looking to boost your pay, this is the time to do it right now, right? So as you said, 65% of us, Lauren, say we're not happy with what we're bringing home. But listen to this, 56% of us have never gone to our employer to ask for a raise or even talk about our salaries.
You know why, though? Because I think it's kind of an uncomfortable conversation because you think I deserve more, and then maybe they're like, well, who do you think you are?
So it needs to become a professional conversation. We're going to talk about that. So the first thing is, number one, you've got to ask. You've got to have that discussion. Ask and you shall receive. So it is something that, you know, we should feel more comfortable about.
Yes.
Because it is part of why we work, right?
My grandmother used to say, Dan, she's a wise woman.
Yeah. You
already have a no, so if you ask, you might get a yes.
There you go.
So you have nothing to lose is what she would basically try to tell me.
Thank you, Grandma. That's good advice. The second thing is you got to know what you're worth. What are you worth? Right?
Well,
see, we don't know. So we have to figure that out. But the good news is it's easier than ever. There's apps out there like Glassdoor, for example.
Oh, I've seen that one.
You can go on the app, you put in your job, you put in your zip code. It'll tell you what similar jobs are paying in your area. So you can kind of get a sense for what is this job really worth.
And a lot of people leave reviews on that website about former employees.
Yes.
So you can kind of go and see like the work climate or
So it's easier than ever to figure out your economic value. It's all about the value you bring to your employer, right?
Okay.
Next up, you got to keep adding to your portfolio of skills. And you and I know that, right? So over the years, we've been working a long time. You can never just sit back and rest on your laurels.
Right.
You got to keep it. You got to keep it fresh. You got to keep adding to your skill set. A new certification, a new qualification. Volunteer for some new assignment.
So more means more.
Exactly. More means more. And finally, you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, because studies have shown if you stay with your current employer over time, you're going to average about 3% a year in terms of salary increases.
That's true.
If you jump ship, studies have shown that that first jumping ship earns you about 10% more.
What?
Yes. Now,
so loyalty is not royalty.
Well, we've changed employers a couple times over our careers, right? So we know that. Now, having said that, as you know, there's risks. Right?
It's true. That's true.
It could be a different assignment. It could be a different city, different lifestyle. We don't know all the risks. So you have to carefully measure that.
And sometimes there's things, I think, that are not necessarily in your paycheck that are worth something that you might not see on paper.
Your network, you know, your quality of life. There's lots of other things that go into it.
Yes.
But if you really want to ring the cash register and it's not happening where you are now, you're going to have to jump ship.
Do you think that people can go into work tomorrow and say, I was watching Fox 29 and Dan told me to do it?
No question. But the first thing they're going to do is they're going to do their homework and figure out what are my skills and what's this job really worth.
Gotcha.
And then they're going to have that conversation. And don't have the conversation, you know, in the cafeteria over a bagel, right?
Yeah.
Schedule some time with the boss, sit down and go through with her or him a rationale for why you're underpaid or you need a little bit more money.